So just before the start of the video, I just wanted to say a massive thank you for everyone who supported us throughout the previous 10 episodes. It was very difficult for us to go through the engine oil leak that we had. As you know, we have took the fuel injectors out. We have of course cleaned them. We've cleaned the manifold and installed all the injectors back. We've installed the manifold. We cleaned the map sensor. We did a massive job to the engine, and we've completed the job, and I can confirm now that we have no more leak and we're ready for the MOT test. And without further ado, let's get started with this video. I hope you enjoy our talk today. We're gonna talk about a few things. We're gonna be talking about Land Rover parts, Land Rover literature, and we're gonna be talking about the MOT. So let's start with the MOT and let's go ahead. Welcome back to Life as Usual for yet another video. Today is an interesting one. Today we are going to do the MOT for the Range Rover 3.6 DDV8. I don't know why I'm stressed about this one, because it's just an MOT test. I do that all the time. But for this time, I feel like I'm getting tested as if I'm having my final exams in high school or university. So I don't know what's going on. Well, I guess I am stressed because I've worked on this car and I got it to this stage where it's ready for MOT, and I've been delaying my MOT as much as possible because of the works. So this video will be a bit different because I'm not gonna get my hands dirty. But this gives me a time for us to have a chat and talk about a few things. I'm going to answer some of your emails and some of your comments. We are late for our appointment, so let's give it a cold start and let's head over there. For this video and the next coming videos, we are going to dial it back a little bit and do much simpler videos for the people who just purchased a Land Rover, or perhaps just wanted to learn the basics about Land Rover so they can catch up with us. And then after that, we're gonna do big projects. So I think you should stay tuned to see what's gonna happen next. And even if you know the information that we're about to say, I think it'll be useful for you as well. So while we're waiting for the MOT test, I wanted to go through the MOT with you really quick for our viewers who are not from the UK. In your country, probably it'll be called something else, but in the UK, it's called an MOT test. I'm not sure what it's called in the USA or Australia or Ireland or even in Germany. Ireland, I think, is called MOT as well, but in Germany, it's called TÜV. I think in Germany it's called TÜV, but in USA, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if it is mandatory to do an MOT test for United States. Actually, if you're watching from United States, let us know in the comment below. But basically, MOT in the UK is something that you have to do on an annual basis for a vehicle that is over 3 years old. And you can book the MOT test into any garage that they do the MOT tests. So this is a mandatory thing. The cost of MOT in the UK is actually fixed cost, so it doesn't matter where you go, which garage you go. If you use the most expensive garage or the cheapest garage, is all exactly the same thing. So it's a set price. And for this reason, I decided to go to Land Rover. Okay, so just wanted to show you what to expect from your MOT results. So of course, if you pass the MOT, you get an MOT certificate and off you go, and that would be it. However, if you do fail the MOT, you get the chance to repair the car, then you go back to the MOT tester and then they will of course reevaluate. Just so you know, if you do fail the MOT, you can still take your car away if you have a current MOT certificate that is still valid and no dangerous problem were listed on the MOT. Otherwise, you need to get it repaired before you can drive. So what does that mean, dangerous? So things like could be the tire, perhaps it has a bulge on it that is considered dangerous to drive. So things like that. Now I just wanted to talk to you about it really quick for people who are not in the UK. Now, you can check the MOT for any vehicle you have in the UK, and you should. So whether you're buying a new vehicle from a garage or from a person or whatever it is you're buying it from, you should check the MOT history, and it's available for anyone to view. For example, let's do a check on a previous vehicle that you used to have. Not only you can check the MOT, by the way, you can also check the tax, if it's tax or not tax, etc. So let's give it a try. So if I click on start now, and then I put a registration for a previous vehicle I used to own, you can just confirm that it's the right one. Yes, it is the right one. And you can see that currently the car is taxed. Now, I do not own this vehicle, but you can see that it's taxed. It has an MOT that is expiring in December 2023, of course, this year. And you can find the details of the car here. So now, if we go back, there's also, let's check the MOT history of the vehicle. So if you click on that one, you can also check the history of the vehicle and to see if it ever passed before or failed or what issues that it had. So that's why it's good to do this search before buying any vehicle. So let's take a look. So you can check if any recalls, if it had any recall, no recall found, and any MOT history. So you can see for last time, for example, in December 2022, which means about 4 months ago, actually it did pass. However, there was a minor repair that needs doing, which is the rear disc brake. Okay, perhaps I wasn't looking after it because I was off-roading a lot in this car. Okay, yes, I remember this. I did have to change the front tire, but they let me go. So basically, they passed the MOT test and they told me, yeah, we passed and it's all good, but we recommend that you replace the tire. That's all what it is. But I replaced the tire after that at my own leisure. So I just wanted to go through it really quick, and I wanted to make sure that you do that research before buying the car. Okay, so this is very important for you to do. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is how to find Land Rover parts and part numbers, which I feel like is very important if you are a Land Rover owner and you're willing to work on your own car, or you wanted to see what the price of those parts are. So now let's move on to the Land Rover parts section. So if we do a quick research and search parts Jaguar Land Rover Classic, you should find this link here, which is parts.jaguarlandroverclassic.com. If you click on it, now this is official Land Rover website. I have been to Land Rover before and I've told them about this website. Actually, not many of them know that. If you were to call Land Rover up and ask them about parts, they will use this website. They do not know that this website is actually available for public. This is a genuine real website from Land Rover. What you can do, for example, let's talk about our car, for example. So we all know that our car is a Land Rover, and we know it's an L322. Mine is the Range Rover 2010-2012 Classic. So if I click on it, so this is my vehicle here. This is the vehicle I've been working on. Okay, so that's the vehicle I've been working on. These are parts from Land Rover. You can order these parts to arrive to your home or to collect them. I have never actually formally ordered anything from this website. I usually order on the counter and they give me the part on the counter. So if you wanted to take a look at the gasket that we've been working on in our previous videos, so we can make an educated decision whether we want to buy it from Land Rover, genuine part, or we want to buy it from outside, like a second hand, or perhaps an aftermarket from a different brand other than Land Rover. So our engine is a 3.6 V8 32 dual overhead camshaft. Okay, so of course it's the diesel one. So let's click on that one, and then let's go on the powertrain. And actually, you can see all the parts here, see? And you can see the layout of the engine. So for example, over here, we want to go on the engine, and then here is loading up. So just bear with us a second. Here we go. So now they do two types, of course. They are more or less the same, but sometimes it's different. So it depends on your VIN number, okay? Now my VIN number lies between here. It starts from the AA, okay, rather than the 7A0. So let's click on that one, and you can see here the layout. So if you remember, this is the manifold we're working on. These here, the map sensors. If you remember, this is the map sensor here. This is the map valve over here. This is the inlet manifold, and these are the gaskets. This is what we have replaced. So if we click on the gasket itself here with the code, if I zoom in so you can see better. Perfect. So you can see this is the number. And if I click on it, you can see it took us to the gasket. And if I click here, this is, of course, we're looking on the left hand. Remember, we are in the UK. Now, I do believe they have an US website as well. But we're currently working on a UK website. So this is the VIN number, just to confirm. And that's the price of it. That's how much it cost. I can see it actually has been increased the price. I have purchased it less than that. If I remember, they have increased their prices. Let's just confirm. Yeah, that's the right. And then here, that's the right hand side. So you have the left hand side, right hand side. I clicked on the left hand side, by the way. If you click on the right hand side, that's the number, and you find it here. And that is the code for it. And if I wanted to see how much it costs outside, I'd do the same thing. So if what I do is I come here. So for example, to this left hand side, and I copy this, and I'll open a new tab, I'll paste, and then I can find the gasket, and I can see how much it costs from outside. Now you can see it's half price. For me, it's not worth it. I'll just do that, okay? If I wanted to get the gasket in intake manifold, so for example, this one, I have to click on it, and then it's gonna show up that it's a left hand side cylinder. Okay, so and you can see the price. Even that price has increased. That's interesting. Now, you can, of course, click here, and then it will show you how much it is, etc. And then you can add to basket and buy it. Or, of course, it can show you more drawings here. Or, if you want to compare it to, like an aftermarket one, all I have to do is search for it, and you can see it here. And if I really wanted to know how it looks like, that's how it is really. And then if I wanted to, of course, shop, and we can shop around and find something cheaper. So you can see it is much cheaper outside, but still I would prefer to buy a Land Rover. So this is basically how I would search and go about searching for part numbers. So let's take a different example. Let's say, here you go, accessories. So if you wanted to buy vehicle customization, for example, sidestep, here we go. Let's see if we can find this is the fixed sidestep. So if you wanted to buy a fixed sidestep, you just come here, and if you wanted to buy the whole lot, the whole package, that would be the code for it. This is only for the it looks like for the sidestep here. So let's take tubes. Oh, that's for the tubes. Okay, that's not for the tubes. Okay, so if you want steps here, a full body kit, that's how much it costs from Land Rover. And you can search, of course, like we did before, okay? So if we wanted to get brakes, if we want to replace the brakes, let's say front calipers or discs and calipers. So let's look at our code, if you remember. Let's see here. So you have, this is not our engine, this is our engine here. So if we click on it, yes. So if you wanted to buy a new caliper, that's the code for it. So all you have to do is click on that one, that code here, and it should open. It's not opening, I'm not sure why. Let's try something else here too. Right, if it doesn't, then all you have to do is just zoom in, okay? You say 2B120, which is this one, 2B120, and you just click on it, and you can see it's the right hand, the left hand, let's see the right hand, that's how much it costs, and the left hand. Now, if you do show you two of them, it's because it has been upgraded, the part throughout the years, it has been upgraded. This is the previous code, and this is the new code. Now, some things are out of stock, just so you know. Let's take a look at the axis suspension. So if you wanted to know how the suspension work, and if, for example, if they told you that the front arm or the rear arm has an issue, so what we can do, we can take a look over here. Let's go to the front axle and component. Let's see, it's here. No, it's not here. Sometimes you have to look. Yeah, here we go. So this is ours. So of course, this is let's say armored. This is leather armored. This is ours. Then if we go here, this, for example, you have this part. This is the lower, which I suspect this is going to fail. 5.2 arm front suspension lower. See? So I knew that was lower. You can see here is the lower one, and that's the price for it. And it comes the full lot. So we're not talking about a bush or a rod. We're talking about the full lot here. Okay. Sorry, a bush or a joint. We're talking about the full lot. This one here, 34688. That's the upward seat. That's a kit. That is everything. So we're not talking about a specific thing here. We're talking about the whole lot, even this one. So let's say the right hand side upper, for example. I can see here two vents, so it depends which one is your car, but it's 310, and that is everything. Okay, so I just wanted to go through this really quick, and for someone who's new to Land Rover, I think this is a very important information here. Even interior trims, by the way, if you wanted to replace your steering wheel or anything like that, just remember this is everything, like literally everything. Right, so now that we have talked about Land Rover parts and how can you find part numbers, how to match them with an aftermarket one, or even the layout of for your engine or anything like that, perhaps you just purchased your Land Rover and it didn't come with any manuals, like a user manual or anything like this, what is called literature. So what you need to do, you need to head over to a different website called Land Rover Literature. So we search for Land Rover Literature, and it's this one. It's called Jaguar LandRoverLiterature.com. So you click on it, and then of course you choose Land Rover, because ours is Land Rover, isn't it? You can find the view replacements, for example. You can put your VIN number or the model. So ours is a 2010. You can search by VIN number, by the way, but you can just do this. Range Rover, so 2010, let's select a language if we want an English one, and that's it. That's you can buy the wallet, you can buy the handbook, you can buy everything as it came fresh from your, as a brand new car. Or you can buy the whole lot, the complete package, for £150. This is the thing. However, I do believe once I tried to click on that, and actually the shipping is expensive, but I just wanted to confirm. So let's pretend we wanted to buy this, and then look, oh, you need to register or log in. Anyway, that's the prices for it, and that's how it works, okay? So we've discussed three things today. We discussed the Land Rover literature, we discussed how to find the parts, and I think this is the most important thing for you as a Land Rover owner, and also what the MOT is. With that in mind, let's go back to our original video and see the results of the MOT now, and hopefully we passed the MOT. Right, okay, so I am literally outside the Land Rover dealer at the moment. We finished the MOT test, all the results are here, and we have passed the MOT. Perfect, we've passed the MOT, but we do have a lot of advisories and things that need sorting out ASAP. I think they call it not major, what is it, not minor, basically something needs urgent attention that needs sorting out, which is the ball joint on the lower arm bush. No, the ball joint on the lower arm, that's the one. And we have the bushes in the back. The rear subframe has issues. But what does that mean? That means that we have some work to do and more videos and more content for us to upload. So at this point, you must subscribe and you must turn the notification bell on so we can see what's happening in the future.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till